Buongiorno. Edge9 oggi incontra Nutanix, il cui top management è in Italia per un incontro con partner e clienti. Hello Tobi, nice meeting you and welcome to Italy.
Buongiorno.
Buongiorno. So, can you tell us how you arrived in working at Nutanix? Your history is very interesting and kind of is part of how the overall software ecosystem is evolving and how we now have Kubernetes being so prominent on the enterprise scenario. It would be very interesting if you could recap how you actually managed to arrive to Nutanix.
Yeah, my journey has been going on for quite some time. So I'm currently the general manager for Cloud Native at Nutanix. So I oversee all of our Kubernetes offerings. But really, I started working with containers all the way back in 2010, 2011. I was one of the first engineers at Airbnb and helped introduce containers to Airbnb and really scale up their infrastructure for their growth. And then a little later, I co-founded a company called Mesosphere in 2013. We took the open source container technology that we used at Airbnb and built an enterprise product around it. I started the company with two friends who worked at Twitter. So they were using the same software at Twitter to scale Twitter. And we commercialized it. We built an enterprise product to help any organization adopt containers to help them build, the next generation of applications and online services.
Cool. And now Kubernetes is part of Nutanix, which probably there are still several enterprises that don't really necessarily know how Nutanix platform is evolving.
Yeah.
So what is the role of Kubernetes inside of Nutanix platform?
Yeah, Kubernetes really plays a very important role. It's a big focus for us. And I think every IT department out there is now thinking about how do I adopt containers, and maybe even the ones that have already adopted it, how do I adopt and manage Kubernetes at scale? And how do I manage containers at scale? And I think every IT department is feeling a lot of pressure to innovate, right? To build the next generation of applications, which are now almost always AI applications. That's what everyone's thinking about, of course. And while it turns out Kubernetes has in many places become the standard platform for AI-based applications too. So it's really top of mind for everybody. If you look at the leading AI companies in the world, like OpenAI, they're using Kubernetes to run their services. And so I think a lot of IT leaders are looking at that and saying, we need to do that too. That's the right architecture. So every IT leader, they have a large VM estate, of course, and that VM estate is going to continue to run, throughout our lifetimes. But they're also seeing this very fast growing container estate, in part driven by, these AI workloads. And so what we're really excited about is being able to offer a single platform to our customers that can manage VMs and containers, and it has a single underlying data platform, right? Nutanix started as a data company, and so it's a very mature and resilient and highly scalable and performant data platform that underpins both. And so every IT leader that's thinking about, how do I manage my VMs and my containers and the data that they need over the next decade or so, we can proudly say that Nutanix is the single platform that you need for the next decade to support these new initiatives and run your existing initiatives as efficiently as possible.
And in this scenario, in using Nutanix for, as an overall platform, it also becomes important to see where the workloads are running. Mm-hmm. So it's not about on-prem only anymore. It's not only about hyper-converged systems. It's also about the cloud and finding the right balance. And Nutanix is also taking several steps in the hybrid cloud direction. Can you please tell us how the platform is evolving in that respect?
Absolutely. So one thing that's been really important to Nutanix for a long time is customer choice, right? We want to make sure customers can pick the optimal infrastructure, the optimal stack for, the whole range of applications that they're running. So, for our core platform, NCI, we've made that available on clouds for some time. It's called NC2, Nutanix Cloud Clusters. That's for our core virtualization platform. extends that to the public cloud, so makes it really easy for customers to decide where they want to run. And for the product that I'm overseeing, NKP, it really runs anywhere. So this is really important to call out, actually. Our Nutanix Kubernetes platform does not require the core Nutanix cloud platform, NCI, right? NKP can run anywhere. It can run on your favorite public cloud. It can run on bare metal servers too. It can run in dark sites, air-gapped environments that have no internet connection. And you can use NKP also to manage these very popular public cloud Kubernetes services like EKS and AKS. And what we see in containers in particular is a lot of organizations, they start developing on the cloud, right? They built something new. They don't quite know yet how much capacity they need. It's very easy to do that on the cloud. You just click a button, spin up some environments, do your development. But then when it's time to move those workloads into large-scale production, it's generally much more cost-effective to do that on-prem, to buy versus rent. And so with NKP and the rest of our portfolio, we really give customers choice where they want to run in the environments. We also make that easy from a licensing perspective. So, it's really up to the customer to choose what makes the most sense for their applications.
And we cannot end this conversation, very interesting conversation, without talking about AI. You
Absolutely.
Briefly touched upon it, but how do you see the platform you're responsible for Kubernetes, and in general, Nutanix platform, in helping enterprises build, develop, and run their AI applications?
Yeah. So I think we're very well set up to support customers in their AI journey because, first of all, AI applications really live off of data, right? The more data you have, the better data you have, the better your AI applications are going to be. And so because at the core, we've been a data company, we have this very mature data platform, we're very well set up for success there. We also recently introduced our own AI product. It's called Nutanix Enterprise AI, or NAI. And essentially what it does is it allows customers to run large language models where their data is. Many customers are not comfortable sending that data to a public endpoint. And for the types of applications that we're seeing, this data it's their intellectual property, right? It's their code, it's customer data, stuff they really want to protect. And so instead of saying, move your data to an AI endpoint somewhere else, we're bringing those AI endpoints to where their data is, on-prem or on the cloud, in an environment they control. So that's NAI, Nutanix Enterprise AI, and it runs on Kubernetes. So I mentioned earlier, Kubernetes has become the platform of choice for AI workloads. It is also the platform for NAI. And so we're seeing that drive a lot of conversations. What's really difficult about AI right now is actually the operational aspect of it. How do you put a model into production and run it efficiently and protect it and, do accounting, resource accounting and things like that. So we've made all that very easy. And just like the rest of our stack, it runs anywhere. We're seeing development happening on the cloud and then running on-prem, like I described earlier. With AI workload, you have the added dimension that the GPUs that people need to run AI workloads, they're very expensive and they're in very high demand. So there's a lot of movement happening in the market right now. Different clouds spinning up that are offering new GPU resources. And so, again, having a platform that can run anywhere is a really big advantage for customers, particularly for these AI workloads.